a lot to talk about. If you don't follow me on my social media, then you just missed the breaking news. Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, filed legal documents to step down as the conservator over her estate. As you may recall, he was the conservator over her estate for the last 13 years. He also was the conservator over her person for quite some time until Jody Montgomery became the conservator over that part of her conservatorship. So he officially filed documents, and this is all according to TMZ. If you're just joining us, it's interesting that the timing of this, because we're talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and if you recall, Tom Girardi also has a conservatorship over his person. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me just pull this up because this is all just breaking news. Just wanted to give you guys this update before we jump into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. As you come into the room, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, because when you get breaking news like this, that's what you're getting here on the channel. So Jamie Spears has agreed that it's time for him to step down as conservator over Britney's estate. He just said so in new legal documents, and he wants to work with the court on an orderly transition. We've learned Jamie's lawyer is filing legal docs in which he says, and this is a quote, "There are in fact no actual grounds for suspending or removing Mr. Spears as the conservator of the estate, and it's highly debatable whether a change in conservator at this time would be in Ms. Spears' best interest." And then he lowers the boom. This is all according to TMZ. "Nevertheless, even as Mr. Spears is the unremitting target of unjustified attacks, he does not believe that a public battle with his daughter over his continuing service as her conservator would be in her best interests. So even though he must contest this unjustified petition for his removal, Mr. Spears intends to work with the court and his daughter's new attorney to prepare for an orderly transition to a new conservator." As you guys know, Britney Spears has filed legal documents to remove her father from being the conservator over her estate. He has been the conservator over her estate for well over a decade at this point. The doc goes on to say this: "Regardless of his formal title, Mr. Spears will always be Mrs. Spears' father. He will always love her unconditionally, and he will always look out for her best interests." He goes on to attack Lynne Spears, his ex-wife, says that she has had little, if any, involvement in the conservatorship, let alone Britney's life for the last 13 years. He says her credibility is undermined because Britney herself refused to even see Lynne when she was at the mental health facility back in 2019. If you guys are just joining us, Britney Spears' father has stepped down as the conservator over her estate. Remember, he is only the conservator over her estate, meaning her money. He was the conservator over everything at one point until Jody Montgomery came in, and now Jody Montgomery is the conservator over her person, meaning her health decisions and things like that. He does say he essentially saved Britney when she was in crisis, desperately in need of help 13 years ago. Not only was she suffering mentally and emotionally, she was also being manipulated by predators and in financial distress. Mr. Spears came to his daughter's rescue to protect her. Okay. He says that he never forced her to do anything, including performing. So as you guys know, this story has been developing for the last few months. Britney Spears spoke in court for the very first time just a couple of months ago, and she expressed her need and want to end the conservatorship altogether, but she desperately wanted to have her father removed. I honestly think that this is probably in the best interest of everyone involved, especially Britney, but definitely I know the Free Britney movement are celebrating at this moment. I had to bring this breaking news to you at the top of our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap because it's an important story that we've been following. And as I mentioned to you earlier, Tom Girardi also has a conservatorship. Not sure if he really needs one. But anyways, guys, let me take a